up, everyone? Kaiju no Kami here with
Cruellica Kain.
And we are going to be talking about Zenkaiger episode 32.
Is it Freaky Friday or Monkey Monday?
I don't know, but today's Tuesday, so it's Twisted Tuesday.
But when you release this, it might be Wednesday. So it'd be Wacky Wednesday.
Or it could be Terrible Thursday. But yeah, I'll probably be releasing this not too long after we have recorded.
You say that, and then you go into the black hole of what is the internet. But, nevertheless, this is our weekly session of couples therapy.
As you can see, Silver Quill is not with us this time because he didn't want to be around when we watched this episode because apparently he got scared off from last week's episode.
No, he didn't want to be around for this episode because he's going out of town for a convention. You wanted to make it seem unnecessarily dramatic.
Well, duh. I was like very dramatic. It was like, oh, yeah.
What's the applause for?
I don't know. It's applauding me.
Nobody sends you applause. We do the tiniest violin in the universe.
Well, come on, I want to hear your tiny violin.
See, it's so tiny you can't hear it.
Then it's not a violin. If it's a violin, it should be like beep.
This is not a Kamen Rider series.
Whatever. Anyway.
This is a Sentai series.
So Zenkaiger episode 32. For some reason I almost said 28. And I don't want to...
Why 28?
I don't know. I just don't want to go back to the 20s for Zenkaiger. Anyway. So we have a Flip World makes Kaito and Stacy flip their bodies. Body swapping episode. And I actually really liked how Kaito's like, wait, you can't go back and you can't go to your world because you're in my body. That means I can go in there. Boom! Doesn't even have any hesitation about it.
So I've watched various versions of Freaky Friday. Both American film, American television, and tokusatsu, primarily more Sentai than any other series, any other type. And I have to admit, the actors in this particular series doing the flips did one of the better jobs that I have seen for tokusatsu.
Yeah, it was one of the better body swap episodes.
Because, so we have two body swaps. We have Kaito and Stacy, and we have Zox and Flint.
Which actually, I think it would have been more interesting had it been they flipped bodies with the brothers. So that Kuttner was Zox and
Ricky
was
Flint.
I think that would have been a lot more interesting to have them in their bodies as opposed to Zox and Flint just flipping around.
Sure, I do agree with that, but I did like it.
I did like the comment Juran gave to them, like, to the two SDs, like, how would we know the difference?
And then they get offended, like, there's clearly a difference, yes. One is red, one is blue. There you go. You're different. But, so, going back to first Kaito and...
Kuttner is red, Ricky is blue, your CGI is poo-poo.
Aww, you can do first grade poetry. I'm so proud of you. How long did it take you to come up with that?
First grade poetry? First graders don't even know how to write their own name yet.
I knew how to write my own name in first grade.
Well, a lot of first graders in this day and age don't know how to write their own names yet. They learn it in kindergarten, but they don't grasp it until later on first grade. And they still can't write. Sometimes they can't even write in second grade.
Okay. Did you know how to write your name in first grade?
I don't remember.
Because I knew how to write so well. I knew how to write swear words in first grade.
I just know that I pissed my teacher off a lot in first grade.
Well, that I'm not surprised about because I've been in a relationship with you for more than 20 years. Okay, nevertheless, going back.
So I like how Kaito just jumps into...
Well, no, I wanted to first go with when they first initially transformed.
Yes, we had that.
Well, no, we didn't start there because...
Okay, then get on with it.
Because Stacy looks at Flip World... Well, Kaito Stacy looks at Flip World and it's like, you attacked me! And then he looks at Kaito, like, at himself and he's like, wait, what? I'm here and you're there? But yes, I will agree because you're so fucking excited about it. It was hilarious because Stay Kaito, wow, that sounds like I'm shipping them.
Stato.
So he is walking back and forth trying to miraculously teleport to Toji Tendo. And it's so, like, he looks like a lost puppy. And then Kai Stacy, I'm just going to do that.
Casey.
Yeah,
Kaisi.
sure, Casey, whatever. But he looks and he remembers jumping onto Barf back. And he's like, wait a minute. So, yes, I do agree. That was hilarious. Apparently, that stuck with you so much, I think it was your best scene of the episode.
It was.
I figured.
I liked that a lot when he just jumps right in. He's like... But I did like when he tried to headbutt Stato, trying to think like, oh, maybe we could just swap back by this. Boom.
Well, yes, because that is a Kaito thing. Kaito believes that maybe bonking your heads together rather than giving yourselves a concussion will fix the problem.
So then Kaisi... Wait, which one are we doing? Is Kaisi going to be Kaito in Stacy's body?
Yes.
Okay, so Kaisi goes up to Machine World and then Stato falls in the trash.
I kind of felt bad. I was like, dude.
Wakes up in
the house, colorful,
in the store, and everyone's like, "Oh, what happened? What happened? You're okay? Okay, we're gonna go take care of the monster." Because they just automatically were like, "Oh, yep, we know it's the monster. That's why he was there."
Well, and Stato was all broody, like Stacy typically is. And he keeps on thinking, like, I like being here. Do I want to go back?
And then we go on the flip side, go back to Machine World, get it, flip side, Toji Tendo World, and Kaisi's like, oh, cool, I'm like, oh, wow, there's prisoners here, I'm gonna free them, and the monster, I like when he's like, you don't get to boss me around.
I did think that was hilarious because Barf is a general. Stacy technically should have some cred.
Apparently not. I
understand he's like the 570th child from the 320th wife. I know. No, I'm doing random numbers because it was wife number 493 or something because Barf definitely gets around. And so you would think Stacy has some kind of sway. So Kaisi then comes up with this idea, since he has his magical gun, that sounds even more terrible, that he shoots it using the patrol. No, not patrol. He uses, because it's
Science. Bioman and Dynaman.
to make a distraction. Then, when the monster...
It's like, ooh, I could get some brownie points.
Because the monster's a drunk. We should preface this. The monster is sitting there drinking sake. And he is like every gothic horror prison warden, so to speak. Just sitting there drunk. Yeah. I wanted him to go on like these good old days of yore.
Back before the Nintendo took over, we
Basically, I wanted him to spin a yarn that was like about some old ass story about the good old days. I was disappointed, but he was, for a children's show, he was an excellent drunk.
And then I'm gonna go get some brownie points. Runs off
And hands Kaisi the booze. Because that's the responsible thing to do. Here, take this. Yes, as a person who's lived with a drunk, obviously not him, even though he has tried to demonstrate otherwise not too long ago with some of our reviews. He is really not a drunk, he's just insane. I have lived with actual drunks, and I have experienced those random tales of, here, kid. And that's all I thought of, was like, here, kid, take this for me.
and then he frees the prisoners.
Okay, here's a flaw in the plan.
Where are they gonna go?
Yes! All they're gonna do is walk their happy asses right back in the jail.
Well, maybe they went to the gate and fled.
But anyway, so he shoots out, or he activates the police, so to speak. So we have Pot Ranger and
Deca Blue.
Yeah, Deca and Pot. So they're helping. And I actually have to say, this time around, they seem to be effective. Like, Pot Red was actually helping escort people. And I was like, okay, this is effective. I can appreciate this. And then, Kaisi goes traveling around Tojitendo because that's a thing to do.
I like when he gets into the throne room.
And Barf yells at him, like, I'm in an audience. And he's like, Roger, and he stands all, like, straight. I'm like, oh, my God.
Well, I like when the bird calls out...
Iago
calls out Wall Boss. And he's like, wait, that's the Emperor?
But I also like that Iago is like, because they're talking about an intruder, and Iago's like, yeah, he's right there. You're not Stacy. And then once again, playing the hot and cold, we don't know what in the world you are, Iago randomly pops up in...
No, before that. So, Kaisi goes running along, like, okay, it's time to get out of here. Like,
this is the perfect time to run!
And then Barashitara tries to go after him, and Wallboss is like, boom, boom, boom.
No, Wallboss is like, get him! And Barashitara is like, I can't move.
Like,
I'm kind of limited on actions because you're not letting me go. Basically, the Wallboss is very possessive.
So then Kaito is looking around, and Iago comes up and says, the gate's that way. Oh, okay, cool. Peace out, man.
But he asks, he's like, can I trust you? And Iago's gone.
And then
Iago is a very spry bird because he can be there and gone in an instant.
And
even
then
though
we
he's
have
gigantic.
the little chase scene between Kaisi and Barashitara when they're running towards the gate.
Oh my God. That's like every movie where they're running to a gate that's slowly closing.
And then we go back to Earth with the Zenkaigers fighting Flip World.
And so the one thing I was disappointed with is obviously we got to see Flint Flint's actress. Obviously, it's
Transform.
and she does the dance moves that Zox does. So perfect. Actually, she had a little bit more rhythm than him, but she did it so perfectly. The only sad part I had is obviously transforming into
It should have been a
Kaiser.
female stunt double in the suit.
It should have been a female stunt double, and possibly, just to make a joke of it, have like the skirt or something to showcase that it's different. Obviously, I understand the reasoning they probably didn't, but the one cool thing about this episode is we actually got little figures of Kuttner and Ricky.
Yeah, there was no CGI of them this time.
No, because even when they were floating, you could tell they were the damn toys.
But
I was like, what is this madness?
so then we have, when Flip World's there, Kaisi returns, Stato is there, and then Kaisi transform. Like, first he's like, okay, Zenkai's, dark.
Zenkai chain, no, dark chain.
Transforms. They're fighting.
No, they all do that. So he does his roll call as Stay Caesar. Even though it's Kaito, knowing it's Kaito, he does the whole roll call as Stay Caesar, and then the rest of the Zenkai team follow suit to the point where you have the arrow coming down, you have the two sides, and where the middle is usually where Kaito is, it's Stacy's logo, and it's like battling each other.
I did like that too. That was pretty funny. And then when they're fighting Flip World, Barshitara comes in and
now you could just say Stay Caesar and Zenkaiser because they're transformed.
Yeah, they're transformed. And I did like when they're both firing their gun and you have Stay Caesar flies across.
It flies right into the trash. I felt so bad when they defeated Flip World and Stacy wakes up as himself and he's like, what the fuck, dude? I'm the one in pain and you get out of it scot-free.
And then we have horrible, horrible CGI Mech Battle 2.0.
Yes, so there's rumors I obviously no official fact that supposedly the next Sentai series, the mech and the mech battles will all be CGI and there will not be any suit actors.
Don't do that.
If that is the case,
oh, it's going to be awful to watch.
It will be awful because watching this battle, like we talked about Revice's episode with their CGI. And someday we'll watch more Revice when more sub versions come out that are of good quality. But this one, you could see it was cut and paste backgrounds.
Oh, it was really bad. The CGI, it looked like frickin' one of those anime Netflix shows that are CGI. It was awful.
No, it looks like CGI from back in the day where they could not create diverse environments because of the fact it would cost too much.
The only thing I did like was when Flip World kept flipping things around, so they kept falling down, crashing on the...
Like Inception?
Yes. That was cool, but it feels like they're like, well, we can't match Ultraman's camera work because these suits are too bulky, so let's just CGI everything to do this camera work. And it just doesn't work because the camera's cool, but when everything else, like, trapped.
What happened?
The battery's dead. Or about to die. Shit. Hold on.
Alright, sorry for these technical difficulties. We'll be right back. But I'll let him finish his thought afterwards. But overall, it was a really solid episode. And I do feel like we didn't get story. We got very basic story. But we did get some great character development because with Kaito and Stacy, they kind of got to see the other side, so to speak. They got to experience different things of the other one. Like Stacy got to see in Kaito's body how close everybody is, how connected they are.
Hold on, I gotta move this to...
Yes, so it looks kind of crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Okay, cool.
Sorry for that strangeness. I think maybe when you edit this, you should put like something funny so people don't get like whiplash from seeing the thing.
Whatever.
But overall...
I'm not going to put anything over it.
I know you're not because you're lazy.
Yes.
But anyways, I liked it because Kaito got to see in Stacy's body how isolating Toji Tendo World is. So I thought that was kind of a nice like change of pace. But I have no complaints. I really enjoyed this episode.
This was a fun episode. Although I'm still wondering when they're going to remember about Kaito's mom.
Episode 47.
If the show lasts that long.
I don't know how many episodes the show is, so I'm just going to say episode 47.
But yeah, it was a fun episode. One of the best body swap episodes.
Yes, the only other body swap episode that still comes to mind that I really enjoyed was, I think it was Maji Ranger.
The nothing, something.
And something, nothing.
Well, that, and then we did have the Zenkaiger one with Luca and Don.
The Zenkaiger one was...
Doc
was fun, but I really liked the Maji Ranger one because both of those characters did, just like here, did so well taking on each other's personalities. Like you could see it was a cohesive unit. While I like Ruka and Doc, they're good actors.
Well, I like it because when Luca being in Doc's body would dress hip style.
Well, yes, but they worked and they melded their personalities fairly closely. But Maji Ranger was really one of the last series where you actually had such a cohesive acting team where they really knew each other's characters. I know you have many things to say about Maji Ranger, but the cast really knew how to act well together. Okay, maybe not always Green, but the rest of them did.
Anyway,
so that's what I'm really impressed with.
But yeah, as I was trying to say when the battery was about to die, CGI mech battles, don't do the frickin' CGI mech battles. Why is there not an actual suit for this combined form?
Well, I wondered that as well, because we've seen many other, as we call them, clusterfucko mechs.
The suit actor look like they're gonna die.
Well, the suit actor looks like they're gonna have a heart attack if they take a step. I'm gonna go one step further and think of what we've been watching recently, X8. The suit actor for the fat suits, or level 1 suits, I don't know if they can even move.
Well, same with the big mech suit that X8 has now.
Well, yeah, I'm like, the suit actors, I don't think they get paid enough for that. So I understand for the more bulkier suits that they're not easy. But this suit looks fairly streamlined.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it'd be that bulky.
And it would actually be cool to see it in actual real form, because I think they could make it still look fairly sleek. Because with more technology of creating these suits, they're getting them where they look more refined. They don't look blocky. I understand in recent years we've had blocky designs, Tokuger and Q Ranger.
You mean Zyuohger?
Zyuohger. So we've had blocky designs there, but this doesn't look like it would have been that bad. It probably, in my opinion, it would have looked better than the suits for Gowon, Juron, Vroom, and Majine's separate suits.
Or even
that just looks like.
Or even better than when you had Kaito's upgrade form merging with Juron for that one episode.
Oh, yes. So, I don't get it, and my thought process would be, if we're going to play the game of budgets, because I understand they don't have as much money as they did before, I would think...
Don't do things that aren't within your budget.
I would think CGI... I know CGI is significantly cheaper than it was back when even The Simpsons made their $3 million episode for one skit. And that was a long time ago because we're old. But while it's cheaper, I would think making the actual suit, because it's not like it wears and tears that quickly. It's not like the Ultraman suits that you can see the wear and tear. These Sentai suits seem to live a lot longer.
But yeah, don't Toei, go back to real suits. Don't do CGI. It's just awful, and you don't have the budget for it.
And Toei, you're trying. I think that's the frustration I have overall as a Sentai fan, is that you can clearly see Toei is trying to compete with the popularity of Ultraman. They are trying. But the challenge of what they're doing is they're trying to take easy way outs when they can, like those cost cutting.
They're trying to do what they did with Dragon Ball Super and cut corners.
But the other thing they're also doing is they're forgetting that their audience cannot afford to buy every single device known to man. And they make these so gimmick heavy that it's impossible, unless you are like a diehard collector who must own every single thing. And I'm looking at you, thankfully you're not this way anymore, but unless you're that person, you only pick and choose what's going to be relevant to you, what is going to be something you enjoy. What? We have an entire room dedicated to your avarice of toys. But, so that's the other frustration I have, is that I don't want it to go all the way back to Die Ranger. I like Die Ranger and I like Kaku Ranger and things like that. And I know things have to progress differently because you have to have change. But Kira Major, even though it had a lot of gimmicks, it still did a lot of story elements where you did not feel like you were being pushed to have all these gimmicks. And
I've got nothing else.
Wow, you're so helpful.
Good episode. Horrible mech battle. Let's get back to real mech battles next week. That's about it. All I've got. So, yeah. Fun episode.
Wow. I'm like so cultural about things. You're like, whatever.
It's late.
It's not that late.
It's late when you had to get up, went blah, 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 blah. When you didn't get a lot of sleep last night, it feels late.
I've been up since 5:30 a.m.
5:30.
So, you need to back off,
Alright,
child.
whatever. But, what did you guys think of this episode? Let us know in the comments. Click like, subscribe, the bell notification, whatever else YouTube has you clicking in to support us. You can support us at Kaiju no Kami
on
Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. You can also support us at our website, creativitybydesignllc.com. And if you want to buy any of our merch, which we do have a lot of cool things, you can also look at that at creativitybydesignllc.com/shop. And I thought you were going to be doing a commercial for that.
I did.
Did you release it?
It's in my quickie reviews for both Bond and Halloween Kills.
Oh, so unless people have watched your quickie reviews, they're not going to know about this commercial.
Not yet, because I haven't I haven't cut the ending to release it normally yet.
Well,
Whatever.
Wow.
Until next time.
What the hell? Don't tickle me!
Bye!